Listen here. Listen here. Hillary. Listen here. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. Even your husband knows it. Big Bill, he knows it. He knows I was giving him the Gawk Gawk 3000. Yes, I am the best at what I do, and I even be a better president than you. We got Philip DeFranco covering Trump's email scandals.
This Trump Epstein email scandal has gotten crazier and crazier. I mean, the floodgates blew open last night. Because yesterday morning, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, they released 3 emails that they obtained from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And those included bits where Epstein called Trump the dog that hasn't barked, said a victim since reported to be Virginia Giuffre spent hours at my house with him, and said about Trump, of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. But also in response, you had the committee's Republicans claiming, hey, those emails were selectively chosen, redacted, and taken out of context. And well, now they've dumped the entire 23,000 document trove from the estate, but rather than exonerating Trump, they just make him look much, much worse. Right, so
Man, what a time that we live in 2025. Who would have thought all this stuff would have been leaked and dropped at the end of the year? We still talking about Epstein and Ghislaine and the fact that Trump might have been involved. And matter of fact, they speak on the fact that he's been talked about several times throughout this entire process in these emails. It's kind of a wild thing. So I understand that this is kind of a polarizing type of situation, especially for MAGA. But let's be honest here. This is crazily alarming. Now let me be clear here. I don't think that we should take everything in these emails as 100% concrete fact, because there's no validation to some of this. They're just emails sent between people, and people can say whatever. It's like if you've seen a text message, you can take it out of context, cool. But at the same time, we got to be more realistic about the fact that he is being talked about a lot. And with all the information we do have so far, including some of the things that we're going to tap into later with him and Bubba, for instance, there's a lot that we really got to sift through. Because honestly, if this is where the country is and we're willing to exonerate Donald Trump from some of these allegations because he's the president, we have a bigger problem than we care to admit. And I'm going to be honest here, this is not about a left or right thing, but if I'm being honest, the fact of the matter is we're making it left and right because our country's separated to left and right. And more importantly, people want to support this man named Trump who has done crazy stuff his entire campaign as a president. So it doesn't surprise me, but I think we need to really, really rethink on how much this actually does affect our country.
let's go through these teens, right? Because apparently he's referring to the sexual abuse of underage girls, and he wrote, Trump knew of it and came to my house in February of 2019. Over the place. But as far as stuff that actually matters, probably the biggest bombshell to come out from this latest drop is an Epstein email written in February of 2019, right? Because apparently he's referring to the sexual abuse of underage girls, and he wrote, Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period. He never got a massage. Also in 2015, Epstein emailed a then New York Times reporter, would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? Though there, despite replying yes, the reporter says that he never actually got those photos. But he did get an anecdote with Epstein suggesting people should, quote, ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door.
I'm not gonna lie, like this is like I can see these types of emails going between like friends, you know what I'm saying? Talking about like, hey, you know, like you should have seen what Trump was doing last night. You know, this man was so thirsty that he was like looking out, you know, had his nose up, just thinking about these women, right? But I think also we gotta be more aware of the fact that this is a president. Obviously, everybody got passed and different things like that. But like when you look at his history, some of the things he said, grabbing him by the what? Like, come on. We know that this man has probably done some freaked out shit. Let's be honest. But it's like these are the things that kind of condemn him in a very particular way. Because if you're being talked about quite a bit through all of these emails, being talked down to, is there some type of validity to this? And we all know, as of recently, he's not taking up any type of interviews talking about it because, I mean, let's be honest here. This would be tough to have to do. Imagine you were a part of all of this. Imagine you were on the island. You seen all these girls. Right? What are you going to do? You're the president. but it gets crazier. I want to say shout out to Philip. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you go, subscribe to Philip if you don't know who he is. Everybody knows who he is. I'm just covering it, but shout out to Philip. So I was able to actually get the emails and actually read them in context about what we about to cover next, because this is where it gets wicked. First and foremost, we got Donnie here. Now they're talking about Mr. Trump himself. Obviously, you can see what time and date and who this was sent from. We got Mr. Epstein himself. This is sent from Mr. Mark Epstein and then to Jeffrey. This man says, "I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes." Jeffrey responds back, "You mean Donnie T?" Then Mark responds back, "You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard." Obviously, he sent via tin can and string. That's crazy. And just shortly after, on the same day, Mark decides to email him back saying, "Hey, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba." Now, if y'all don't know, of course, this has been out for a while, but Trump blowing Bubba, in quotations, we'll say Bubba. Bubba was also known as Clinton, Mr. Big Bill Clinton. So the last email that we actually have on this particular page is actually of 2 days prior, where Marcus messaging Mr. Jeffrey said, "Hey, how are you doing? Heard that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? And what's your boy Donald up to now?" Now, I feel like that's important, okay? In context of all of this, they were talking about Mr. Trump himself 2 days prior and continue the conversation on March 21st, 2 days later. And that's where this whole conversation begins to take that turn. Now, this is interesting here. I don't know where this came from, because this is a random ass question at 4 a.m. to go, "Hey, go ahead and message Putin at 4 in the morning. Ask him if he got them pictures of Trump giving the Gawk 3000 with the reach around to Mr. Clinton." Now listen, I think it's quite hilarious. I'm going to be honest with you. I know, hear me out. But to think a president who is extremely right-leaning, who's extremely against Democrats, right, giving his entire throat to Mr. Clinton, that shit is diabolical, bro. The irony, bro. Can you imagine it? Listen, I don't know if this is real or not, and I think people are going to go into conspiracies. It's immediately going to be, well, it's all fake news, it's all fake this, or it's all completely real. I don't know. We'll find out, I think, eventually. But let's be honest here. It would be the most funniest thing in 2025 to have this be real. Imagine the whole... Oh, man. Remember when Clinton and Trump were against each other in the presidential polls? That's why there was so animosity, because Trump was probably in there like, listen here, Hillary, listen here, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. Even your husband knows it. Big Bill, he knows it. He knows I was giving him the Gawk 3000. Yes, I am the best at what I do, and I'll even be a better president than you. But listen, we only did it in China. You know what I'm saying? But either which way, I think it's hilarious that this is even a possibility, that we have a president who got impeached for getting some of the noggin, and then we're going to have another president impeached for giving the noggin to the president that got impeached for getting the noggin. I'm not going to lie. On my calendar, I don't think that I had anything prepped and ready for a day like this, okay? This is by far one of the funniest and weirdest things to kind of come across. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't want to image it, the thought that that's possible. But I think just the combination of all these things at once, it definitely doesn't look good for Trump. And as someone who knows a lot of people who are right-leaning, but also understands why people choose to go MAGA, I say this. What are y'all going to do? What's going to happen? If this is true, what are y'all going to do? And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just saying, what is y'all going to do if the president that you so fully support, who's been doing all the stuff he's been doing with the snap and everything, decides, hey, I just wanted to give some man some dome one day. You let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to y'all later.